Today on Marilyn, it's a full show co-hosted by the one and only Jann Arden. We're starting things off with a spring-tastic recipe sampler courtesy of Chef Daniel Boulud. Then getting you outdoors and sharing how to tap into your backyard's true potential this season with the latest trends. Then spilling royal tea. Charles the Butler gives you the latest on all things royal family. And inject your style with some of spring's biggest fashion trends. And find out the DIY ways to do it. It all starts right now. Are you ready? Here's Marilyn.
So happy you signed up for this one. It's the first day of spring. Yeah! And I thought, we got to kick it off in style. Co-hosting the show with me this time around, she's my friend, she's a singer, she's a songwriter, and now an actress. Please welcome Jann Arden. Have a seat. We've got this, you've got this brand new show. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about it throughout the show today.
Am I cooking something?
No, don't be afraid.
Thank God, because I'm looking at this going, they never told me about this.
I know, this is going to be crazy today. We kind of hit all the marks with you today because we know you like cooking.
Yes.
By the way, Jann's new show premieres tonight. It's called Jann. So, one of my favorite people in the world, and one of my favorite places to go is the Four Seasons here in Toronto, because I love, as you know, Cafe Boulud. Please welcome Chef Daniel Boulud. You know Jann. Hello.
How are you?
So, you know, Jann's got a cookbook out. You know that, right?
No, that's being very, very generous.
Well, yeah.
No, it's things I threw together, cans that I opened for my mother. Should have been
love
the
it.
name of my book. And no, this already smells
Right.
unbelievable.
What I want to know is, do you sing when you cook?
Absolutely.
All right.
I sing.
Maybe she might sing for us.
Maybe. I'd have to pay her extra, though, and I don't know. But you know what? You are always very much about, like, get in the kitchen, like, make some mistakes, learn how to do stuff, because then you'll enjoy it more.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And I think as long as you buy very good ingredient, very fresh ingredient, and keep it healthy, I think it's always good.
Right, always
And today we are talking about healthy, so we are talking about spring, first day of spring.
Your spring menu.
It's our spring menu at Cafe Boulud at the Four Seasons.
I know.
And so spring, I think greens.
Yes.
You know, everything is sprouting everywhere, everything is growing everywhere. And so this can carry all the way to the summer, but we are using only green vegetables
Look how good
for this
that
preparation.
looks, huh? So it's spring pasta. So the spring pasta dish. So what do you have
And of
here?
course, in the pasta, you can always add bacon if you want and all that. But today we keep it vegetarian.
Vegetarian?
Absolutely.
Vegetarian,
So
okay.
we start with lettuce. So the lettuce here, you see, I have some nice lettuce here. And so what I do is I take the top, and the green part get blanched in water. And I have also some fresh mint. So the fresh mint and the lettuce get blanched in boiling water.
For how long?
Salted
like
water.
like a minute,
Scare it.
2
You
minutes,
just
like
scare
scare
it.
it.
No, you tenderize it like this, like this. Look, it's a little blanch and tender.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So, and then the rest, you just chop it like this to put inside the preparation of the pasta after. So you don't waste anything there.
Okay.
Right.
So here I have the blanched lettuce, and I think I'm gonna play with that thing because I don't want anyone to get hurt there. So I have the lettuce.
That's so
I have
nice.
the fresh mint. Blend. I have a little bit of lemon zest to it, so you can
Okay.
grate your lemon zest or
I like
pre-grate
lemon
it
zest.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. like this. A little bit of Parmesan inside, and
Now you're
a
talking.
little bit of cream,
Wow.
like that, and then you blend
Just
that.
a bit.
A touch, but you
No,
can
it's
use.
not.
That looks pretty good.
Voilà. So that create this wonderful cream I have here.
So green. It's so green.
And
So you just transfer it into the saucepan?
absolutely.
Bob's
And
your uncle.
I call this pasta cavatelli verdure. So verdure in Italian, of course, verdure, which is greens. So beside the pasta, while the pasta is cooking in water, and so if you have hot pasta, it takes longer than fresh pasta. But the important thing is to put a little bit of salted water and olive oil and cook your cavatelli. And during that,
Let me stop you right there.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. With pasta, which most of us get from a box, when
Yes.
we're cooking it, you want us to put some salt in it. Where does the olive oil? You don't put. You just.
no, but I always put a little bit of olive oil in my water so the pasta don't stick
I do too.
together.
Okay.
Some people disagree with that.
I
Some
know
people,
they do.
I always put olive oil in. I think it
Depends
makes a
the
big
type of
difference when you
pasta.
take it out.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with that too. Okay.
For the green,
Yeah.
so I have scallion, I have the lettuce, which I show you. I have fresh peas.
Oh.
I have also snap pea. I have haricot vert, which is green beans, cooked tender. Everything is cooked tender, but still firm. And also zucchini, where I take the most of the part
I'm
of the
also
zucchini.
tender, but still firm.
Oh yeah. I love it. So
You flirt.
I have I have also some fresh mint cut.
So you put
I
the
have
mint and the
scallion,
olive oil.
scallion,
Amazing.
mint,
I love mint.
Love it.
lettuce.
Lettuce in pasta. This is a
Yeah.
first for me.
Yeah. And then all the green vegetables.
Beautiful.
A little bit of the pea.
So this is featured on your menu right now.
Yes,
And
it will be.
it will be?
Because spring is too. Well, it's
Wouldn't
today.
this be great? This would be great. You feel like you're having a salad and pasta at the same time. Yeah.
Like,
Delicious.
I don't know about you, but
So-
I am not going to have peas in my garden until like the end of July.
Yeah,
Like this seems
yeah.
so far away. I'm going to have to be buying them until then.
The frozen peas are good.
Yes, of course. If you want vegetable from your garden, you may have to be patient.
Yes.
But
Yeah, there's still a foot of snow in Alberta right now.
yeah.
So-
So I have all the green
true.
vegetable tossed in
Yeah.
olive oil with all the mint,
That looks
salt,
amazing.
and pepper. I have the pasta which I toss right here into the green sauce. And I'm playing with my stove.
There you go. That's a new stove.
Voila.
And they asked me the other day, how do you work? And I said, never ask me that.
I put a little bit of ricotta also because I like a little bit of the
Yeah.
fresh.
Danielle, how
Good.
many restaurants do you now have in your roster?
Pardon? I
How
have a
many?
little bit of Parmesan. So I have 14 establishments, and some of it are retail store also, like Épicerie Boulud, where basically you can have Daniel, myself, as Restaurant Daniel, and then there's Café Boulud, there's Bar Boulud.
Yeah.
But in Toronto, it's
Why
one of
don't
my
you ever
favorite
take me
restaurants.
these places?
I thought
You're gonna come-
I took you to Cafe Boulud. Okay.
You're
well,
going to come
you
to
just
see
wait
me in
and
New
see.
York after
Yeah.
that, when you come in
Oh,
concert.
I'd rather do that. Let's
you know
do
what?
that.
We'll do that. You know what? Can I tell you?
So-
I went in to see him in New York, and
Yes?
you were so funny because you were so gracious and you had me for dinner, and you were running late, and you said, "I'm so sorry, but Bono was late." And I went,
That's
as he
true.
always is.
It was at Café Boulud, New York,
Yeah,
actually. That's
Cafe-
right.
Pasta
And then-
So
water.
I am putting always a little bit of pasta water
Yeah.
into the pasta, just
That
to make
I-
sure that you keep that lightness to the sauce. And so you see, super green.
So, what is the purpose of
Attends, let me
putting the
heat it up a second more.
Chef Boulud, what's the purpose
Yes?
of putting the little bit of pasta water in the pasta?
Is to just dilute the cream. You don't want to reduce the cream.
Yes.
You just want to keep it light.
Okay.
And that's why the heavy cream I put was not very much. And so it's not a very heavy pasta.
This looks so good, doesn't it? Doesn't it look so good?
Voila.
Voila. And
So
here
now
we go.
we're gonna
Presentation is everything.
The pasta here.
It smells so good.
Oh, it does.
Give me more. I don't know which one's Marilyn's.
Look how healthy it
Look
looks.
at how healthy that is. Are you putting a little? And then, see, that would eat.
Gorgeous.
That's exactly what we would have.
Voila.
That would be perfect for me. Love it. I
Like
am
that.
hungry too. We're all
It's
hungry.
simple as long
Simple.
as if you have kids and they love their green, you're in good shape.
Yes.
Because if they don't like their green, then that's a little tougher.
Okay. Little ricotta.
Voila.
Screw kids.
They don't listen to me, and they have their own mind.
Yes,
and
they
do. You know, I have young children, and
How old are they?
They're 5 and 2. I have also an older daughter, but I have a very young boy, and my little daughter. And so finishing, because I talked about lemon zest before, so you always finish with a little bit of lemon zest on top, like this.
So good.
So you
Voila!
get that.
Now,
Thank you.
before I start eating anything, very quickly, we want to talk about what else is on the menu. Stillhead trout with purple cauliflower. Take a look at how gorgeous this is.
Yes.
Look at
Thank
this.
you.
So tell us about that.
So again, spring sea trout. Sea trout is wonderful for spring.
Sea trout,
So
that's
we
so
are celebrating cauliflower, and cauliflower today amazingly come in white, yellow, purple, and green. And so we are using a little bit of all the color of cauliflowers and the flavor and the texture.
So thinly
And
sliced.
We have some raw, we have some cooked, and we have also a velouté of cauliflower, purple cauliflower
Look at
on
this.
the bottom.
I have to show you this.
And with a lot of fresh herbs
Where's the
also
camera?
and,
Press,
and
where you going?
lemons.
Where is it? Right there.
So you can come to Café Boulud. You can come to Café
Look
Boulud.
at this.
Voilà.
Look at look.
Yeah, right there.
Perfect. Gorgeous. I got cameras everywhere.
Café Boulud
listen.
at the Four Seasons,
Absolutely
of course,
delicious.
is also the best destination for brunch.
I love
At
it.
the bar
you
downstairs
gonna
at
do
the Four
that?
Seasons. We're going to do a good day there.
Daniel Boulud, everybody.
Absolutely.
Wonderful chef. Both of the recipes on Marilyn.ca. I'll be seeing you soon with Jann. We'll be right back.
Coming up, spilling royalty. Charles the Butler gives you the latest on all things royal family. Don't miss it.
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to let you know that in a segment we had on recently about money-saving food hacks, we suggested that you make garlic-infused olive oil. We said that the oil could be stored for up to 2 months. That's incorrect. Health Canada guidelines recommend that you use the garlic oil immediately. If there's any left over, never store it at room temperature. You must store it in the fridge right away for up to 1 week. And after that, you must throw it away. So we want to let you know that, okay? Okay, that's what we want to know. Hacks are good, but then, you know, sometimes we find fault with them. So anyway, we want to let you know that. Jann Arden's with me today, Jann Arden. We've had pasta.
I'm just eating stuff. This is one of the best days of my life. I don't have to sing.
No.
Or do I?
No. No, I want you to rest. I want you to rest. Joining us right now to dish on the royals with a spot of tea, Charles the Butler. And I know that you covered the royal wedding, which was a real thing. I want to talk about that in a second, but there's a lot of history behind this.
Absolutely. And so, first of all, you know, afternoon tea has, you know, started out. Do you remember who started afternoon tea in England?
Yes.
You're asking me? I don't know.
Yes, I did. Queen
Colonel
Victoria.
Sanders.
No.
Oh.
It was the Duchess of Bedford.
Oh, her.
Because she was a larger lady and she couldn't wait between lunch and dinner, so she had to have a little something.
So there's a difference
I
between
like her.
There's a difference
So-
between high tea and afternoon tea.
So, okay.
So Bedford went for afternoon
So
tea.
afternoon tea, exactly. So afternoon tea is what's sophisticated, which is what we're having here today.
Oh my gosh.
High tea is what the working people have. When they come home from work, they have a mug of tea and they have like a shepherd's pie or something hot.
But that
So that's
sounds
the
good,
difference.
too.
It's really good. And so today, everything here was provided to us by the Fairmont Royal York.
All right, thank
which
you
is
so
wonderful.
much. Thank you.
Thank
So beautiful.
They've been
table.
serving afternoon tea in the library, in the afternoon tea since 1929.
Wow.
And they serve it in the library bar. And still to this day. So
Fun.
they're celebrating their 90 years of serving afternoon tea. And the macaroons, which they have here on the table, is the original recipe from 1929. So,
Well, I'm going to have one of those. So, okay, so let's talk about how we go about pouring and what's the proper way and what's the difference between all these tiers besides deliciousness.
so there's 3 parts in food to afternoon tea. And so there's the scones, which traditionally are hot.
Oh.
There is the sandwiches, and there is the pastries. Now, the trick question, are these in the right order?
No,
How do you know they're in the wrong order?
because you should eat your sandwich first.
No.
Oh, you should eat your
Actually.
Eat dessert first? Scone
So the
first.
scones are first. Why? Because they're hot.
Okay.
And so the scones are first, then the sandwiches, then the pastries.
Do we do this with our
Is
napkin?
this for like? Is this 2 people? How many people is this? No,
It's 3.
This is for 3
Okay,
people.
now,
That's a lot.
do you remember how to put your napkin on,
The
Miss
napkin
Jann?
goes like this.
Is this-
Exactly.
Is that you? Is this me?
That's you. And it does this, Jan. You go like this because you keep it open on the
Keep
edge.
it folded in half. Yep,
Keep it folded in
exactly.
half because if I do this and I go, oh, that's ridiculous. I can do that. Yes.
But you want to use the inside. That's why it's
Yeah.
folded in half.
Yeah.
You use the inside so your lipstick goes there, and when you put it down, it doesn't go on your dress.
Get it?
My
See,
God in
Jan and I
heaven.
are only used to using paper napkins, so this is good for us.
But that's a good trick with the paper napkin, too.
A lot of the time, this is me. I'm just like,
As you would.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
so Jan, if I may.
Yes.
If I was to say, will you play mother, am I being terribly rude to you? Or
sounds like a date I had. 1999.
there was alcohol involved in that one.
I think I'd be game for anything.
so the
Okay.
person who pours the tea is usually the host. And because tea is so expensive, it's considered something to be, that's cherished.
Of course it is, dog.
But if I said to you, will you play mother, I'm asking to give you the honor if you would pour the tea,
the tea,
because normally
of course it-
mother pours the tea.
Lovely.
Now, before you pour the tea,
Geez, there's so much going on. I'm hungry.
milk. Before or after you pour the tea?
Before.
No. Before?
I say after.
You are correct. It's after.
You said after. I said
I know, but I felt
I
like
don't
it was
know.
a trick question.
It's so because China used to be so thin that if you put the hot tea in, it would crack it. So the rich would put the milk in first, and then the tea, so it wouldn't crack their cup.
Okay. All right, now, so go for it.
Ladies first. I would
Thank you,
imagine.
darling. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
And so now today we're having an Imperial Earl Grey because you would have
My
like a
favorite.
breakfast tea in the morning.
Yes.
And then you would have like an Earl Grey or a Darjeeling in the afternoon. Thank you very much. And then you go to a lighter, a tisane or, an herbal tea in the evening.
Is your pinky up or down when you're having a
Ah.
sip, sip?
Oh, what do you think?
Can I fix mine up first?
So you can do whatever you like.
While you're fixing it up, thanks to the Fairmont Royal York. You're all going to go home with a gift card to enjoy afternoon tea in their beautiful library. So, pinky up, pinky
So pinky down.
Pinky down.
Pinky down.
Pinky down.
Pinky down.
Okay, we don't have much time.
No,
left.
we don't. We're running out
But
of time.
that's okay.
I'm having fun here.
We're going to dish on the Royals right now. What can we say? Okay, let's talk about this. Well, first of all, you did a great job co-hosting. That was fun, eh?
I have to ask you, were you nervous because you were talking about them?
Well, first of all, I said I know nothing about the royal family. They said perfect, and so, but it was very exciting to be there at the royal wedding, to be at Windsor Castle.
Historical.
It was very fairy tale. You know, we live in a world that's pretty brutal sometimes,
Yeah.
and we see some terrifying things.
Yes.
And to see hundreds of thousands of people peacefully gathered to celebrate love really put a lump in my chest.
That wedding was pretty
And I was
spectacular.
very proud to be there. Look at that.
We want to talk about the history of how the Royals interacted with the public.
So I
That's
think
what
that's
I'll go there.
interesting
Yeah.
because, the royals were always very, kept apart from us,
Yeah.
away from us. So that made them the mystique of the royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 1960s, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, he said the monarchy has to modernize. And that's when the very first documentary of behind the scenes
Yes.
was done.
Yes.
And since then, they've done more. And so what's happening is that curtain, if you will, has been opened. We're seeing more into their lives.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're realizing they're kind of normal people too, and they get divorces and they have
Yep.
arguments
Yep.
and so on and so forth.
Yep.
And so the public is actually starting to see them more as celebrities rather than royalty.
They seem
and so
like
they're
the
kind
biggest
of changing.
celebrities in the world now.
Exactly. But that royalty is kind of changing to being a celebrity.
You know, I want to make mention of they have new rules for social media too
Yes.
for the royals, and I thought that was because they're like every magazine, especially over there, there's some kind of they're making up a feud, and they are making up a feud, and they're making up all these stories. But they made some rules about social media. The royals did
because people don't know how to address them, and so people will just go up and they'll say, so so Harry, how are you today? And it's really His Royal Highness. It's you don't speak to them in their first name,
right.
or you wouldn't say how's your grandmother. You say how is Her Majesty the Queen. So they're still trying to bring back that. No, wait a second. There still is some formality that I think is important to remember who they are.
right. And also, if you say anything that's not good,
And that's not appropriate.
That's not appropriate, yeah.
And you can't ask them you shouldn't be asking them embarrassing questions.
Can that rule apply to everyone?
boy, we'd love that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't we love that? Okay. One other thing I want to ask you about.
Yes.
I've got all these beautiful jams
Yes.
from my scone.
Yes.
Or scone. Scone or scone.
It's potato, tomato, tomato.
And so, and this is Devonshire cream?
Yes, Devonshire cream or clotted cream.
And so what do you put that on there?
Well,
with?
that's the debate. It says the jam go first and then the cream, or the cream and then the jam, and it's just personal
Cream jam,
preference.
I would think.
That's the way I do
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever your jam
Okay,
is.
so, but the last question, the last trick question, before, if you'll be allowed to have a scone.
Yeah.
What kind of jam do you put on top? There's only one technically that you put on top.
Oh, don't say...
I'm going to say strawberry.
Raspberry?
Miss Jan gets the scone. It's strawberry jam.
Charles, thank you so much. Thank you to the Fairmont as well. More with Jann Arden when we come back.
Up next, get outdoors and tap into your backyard's true potential this season with the latest trends. Stay tuned.
Jann Arden, everybody, co-hosting today.
Hello.
Jann Arden. Jann Arden. I just noticed, here with decor trends for your backyard this summer, please welcome the co-host of Backyard Builds. You know this show, right? Please welcome designer Sarah Keenly-Side, and she's pregnant.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice upstairs. How far along are you?
24 weeks.
Is this your first
6
baby?
months. Yes, it is.
I did. When I saw you upstairs in the makeup room, I didn't even notice it. You're hiding it well.
Oh, well, thank you. I took
Wow.
that as a compliment.
Congratulations on season 2. This is exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And tell everybody about your show.
Yeah, it's a backyard build. It's all about renovating people's backyards. Really cool kind of outpost buildings that we do in people's backyards, not just landscaping.
great stuff.
Renovating, like we're doing 3-season bars in people's backyards, sports courts that are not your typical sports courts. We've got season 2 starting March 28th.
That's so great. That's so good.
Really excited, yeah.
So you are working pretty much all summer to get these builds in.
Yeah.
And then they add it during the wintertime, and then we get to see it.
Yeah, during the
Wow.
winter, I run my own design firm, so busy bee.
Well, now you're just bragging.
I want to
No,
know
I love it. I think a purpose-filled life, and who loves, a filled-up calendar? I think
Yes.
it's great.
Yeah.
And I love watching like gardening shows.
I know you do.
And the reveals. That's my favorite thing is when
It's
you're
the
like,
best.
here's the crappy yard, and here it is now.
It always makes me look good when it's extra bad to
Oh,
start
Now,
with.
we're going
great.
to see 3 vignettes, but I want to say something. Did you know that Jan has it's a treehouse?
I heard
Yeah,
this.
and did you have a tough time finding somebody to build that, or?
The guy that built my house built the treehouse, and I said, I want a suspension bridge off of my dining
at
room.
that.
And he said, I'll just look on YouTube. That's what he said. So he looked on YouTube how to build a suspension bridge.
That's
But I
so
love it. I ride out there, and
That's
there's
amazing.
a disco. It's fun.
It's fun. It's
Everyone
great.
needs a treehouse.
They
Everybody
do.
does,
They
yeah.
do. It keeps you in touch with your inner child.
Absolutely.
There are 3 looks you're going to show us right now. I like this look. It's called the boho.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So this is all about spring 2019. Some fresh looks for the outdoors. You can get everything in outdoor furniture now, which is really cool. So this is all from HomeSense. It's an update on the boho look, which is usually very romantic, very artistic. Start with a nice woven piece of furniture.
Great.
But it's all about eclectic worldly travels.
Sure.
It can usually, if it's not done properly, it looks a little bit cluttery. So the chic side of this is bringing in a lot of white. That's always my key when I do a boho chic kind of a space. So the soft off-whites, they really let your eclectic pieces really shine. And one of the whites that I've used is terrazzo, which is so hot for 2019. It's a really hot product, and you can use it exterior and interior, which is really great.
And all this can get wet.
Everything can get wet. I mean, it's all Sombrella grade fabric.
Yes.
But you do have to air it out if it does get wet.
Yeah.
You can extend the life of your furniture if you do have storage for the soft pieces, right? And to really just drive home this look, it's plants, plants, plants.
Yeah.
That's just like, you know, hanging plants, like you're in the jungle.
Yeah, it's so great. Now, this one is so cool because of the bright colors. It's new vintage.
Yes, so I'm kind of coining this look new vintage. I am such a vintage girl at heart. I love this style. And the thing is that you can get it looking very themey if you go vintage on vintage on vintage.
So how do you break it up a little bit?
So I'm starting with a classic vintage chair, and this is actually, not many people know, this is a Canadian design.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's called the Solaire chair from 1972.
That was a good year.
Yeah, good year.
We had one of those.
Did you have
Yeah,
one of those?
I think my parents had like four of
I
those.
remember it in turquoise.
Yes, it comes in every
Yeah.
color. Super affordable. I love it because it's just so much fun. It's a zero maintenance chair. There's no upholstery on it.
No kidding, and the water goes right through that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
So to keep that look fresh for 2019, I'm pairing it with all these great pieces I found from IKEA.
Fun. That is outdoor furniture.
This is outdoor furniture.
That's
like this is
amazing.
actually a
Yes.
cage with the fabric pulled over it, so there's no actual batting or anything in there.
Right.
So it's just going to dry up really easily.
And these are great too.
I
do
am
too.
obsessed with these. These are outdoor. They look like those paper lanterns.
And they're so inexpensive.
They're under 20 bucks. And they come in white. All these fun patterns are introduced
Weatherproof.
for this season.
That's no problem.
Weatherproof, and they're LED solar lights in there. So, you know, climb up the tree, hang them once, and then all summer they're going on and off as the sun
I
drops.
like that idea.
Really
Very
great.
quickly, let's go over to the plates and everything because we get to the third vignette, but I love the,
gonna get out of
doesn't that remind you of, this reminds me of the 70s.
Oh, totally.
So reminds me
Totally.
of
Like
70s,
that retro throwback and all outdoor plates and cups, like plastics and metals, so you don't have to worry about
Never
anything
throw
shattering.
anything out.
No,
Because
that's
it
the
all,
rule.
but it all comes back. You
It
think,
just-
oh, I'm going to just chuck this. We're never going to use them again.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, if you live that long,
Yes.
you can use it again.
Yeah, it's all about just editing
That's
when
true.
it comes
It's
back,
true.
right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just sort of like freshening it up and with cleaner white a lot of the time.
And then this is natural modern. I like this a lot
This is
too.
my favorite.
That is your
yeah,
thing, isn't it?
so
Yeah.
natural modern design gets a bad rap for being a little cold and austere. This is the fresh new take on modern
this.
because it's all about these woven textures
Yeah.
and it's softer materials. For instance, this is all this furniture is from Jardin de Ville.
Yeah, it's a
a
beautiful
really high-end furniture store that the stuff looks like it could be in your home just the way it could be outdoors. So powder-coated aluminum chair, it's really, really light. And with this woven cord, it just adds that softness to it. Pairing it with the woven ottoman, these really great ethanol burning candles. So a lot of places, especially if you live in an urban
Those
area.
are candles.
Candles, yeah.
Love that.
And they'll burn for hours. And if you live in an urban area, you can't have open flames.
No.
So this is a great option. Also, if you live in a condo.
Right.
Great for your patio.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
It's
That's what was always important to my mom. I just want to be able to hose it off. I just want to hose the whole goddamn thing down.
Everything is
Yeah.
hoseable.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Sarah, thank you so much. It's so true. That is your mom. More with Jann Arden when we come back. Stay with us, everybody.
Coming up, inject your style with some of spring's biggest fashion trends and find out the DIY ways to do it. That's coming up.
I'm getting caught up with Jann Arden. She is my co-host for us for the hour. How about that? Got a new show. So my next guest is the only Canadian contestant left standing on Project Runway All-Stars. Watch this.
I really wanted to get Nikki, my model, and she was wearing these really great metallic pleated pants. I chose the crushed velvet in the rose quartz color, and then this was an army jacket that I used for just sort of the tuxedo striping and then the ribbing here.
This is the girl that I want to be. I love the fabric. She looks like a really cool base jumper, so badass. I love it.
I love the crushed velvet plus the textures of the silver. It's really modern but very, very retro.
You really committed to a look and went for something completely unique to anything else on this runway today, and that's really worked for you. My only critique would be I do think that crotch is just a touch too long.
Maybe if the crotch were even lower, if it was just a full-on...
I think it's perfect.
Designer Fidel. Well done. Well done. You and Jann have met. Where are you from in Canada?
Oh my gosh, all over. I was born in Alberta, raised in Saskatchewan, went to BC after high school, and I've been in Toronto for 12 years.
Okay, being that we are prairie girls, we're in Alberta.
Yeah.
I was born in Medicine Hat, Alberta, and my aunts all live in Calgary. They all love you, Jen. I heard about how funny you are, actually, years ago.
I love Medicine Hat. It's always one of the hottest places in Canada, consistently every summer. And Medicine Hat is 72 degrees Celsius.
Okay, let's move
yeah,
closer.
congratulations on everything.
Oh, yes,
we're going to move
thank
closer
you.
because we're going to talk about, listen, you know, you are, you're the only Canadian in the top 4. The other Canadian got eliminated in the first week. I'm sorry about that.
Screw you.
And the remaining 3 contestants are American. So good on you. You're going to show us some hacks today, 3 of your favorite hacks. So show us the first one.
So I wanted to show you some things that are pretty easy to do, but also I think they're cool,
Yes.
which is tough. I don't think anything's cool. So everyone can go into their husband's closet or their dad's closet and find dress shirts.
Yeah.
There's just always a plethora of these dress shirts. And so what can you do? How can I wear that? I think dressing too feminine is kind of done. So really easily taking one of the dress shirts, find 2 that you kind of like the colors of that will go together.
I think I know where we're going.
Yeah.
And, you literally, right to the distance where you're, I like to crop wherever right in the middle. Maybe you want it a little lower, maybe you want to go a bit higher. I don't know what kind of girl you are. But she's about right in the middle, so
Did
you
your
literally...
mom ever go into her closet and find half of her clothes cut in half?
What is that?
This is a rotary cutter, so
He's like a surgeon. Fidel, that's so cool.
I also don't like wasting anything, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not
Yeah.
throwing this away or something. So you're left with a crop top.
Yeah.
Which you'd roll up your sleeve, you've got it over here. It's
Very fun.
very kind of cool, very wearable, very updated. She can be she's also it's her dad's shirt. She's now going to high school wearing it, kind of ageless.
That's so clever.
Right, but now the best part about it is taking this and sewing it at the bottom of another shirt.
Okay.
So
how do we go about doing that?
So
Well-
like a shirt dress.
Like a shirt dress, exactly.
There
okay,
you go.
This is changing my life today, Mare. Seriously, that is
it's
just
true.
so
And-
great.
And you can kind of pick the colors. I really like the white under the blue. 'Cause
Yeah, I
it's
do
giving
too.
you
It's
this
fresh.
office
Yes.
sort of vibe, but then also dressed up. You could probably get away with. I mean, what good designer doesn't have a belt in his pocket? You could probably
As you do.
get away with
Yeah.
belting it, right?
Right. Okay, that's a great idea too. Oh, that's great, Fidel.
I'm gonna do this.
So, when Jan says she's going to do this, so what are the things to keep in mind when you're doing this?
Keep in mind the buttons because you want to cut in between the buttonhole.
yeah,
so when
yeah.
you go to sew it, the buttons are going to line up here as well.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
also make sure the shirts are the same size.
Yes.
So you're not forcing them
Yeah.
together when you're sewing it together. You can just literally sew it together.
Very cool. What are we doing with this?
Well, you need
skirt?
something to wear with your crop top.
Yes,
Obviously,
yeah.
and I know everything's high-waisted. Women want all of this kind of pulled in, right? So, and winter's over. You probably have a long winter skirt. Maybe you don't, but you can find these. In the 80s, this is all anybody wore in the 80s, right? But,
Oh, yeah.
So this, you're literally, again, one cut.
I know what.
Here it is
Whatever
again.
length you want, right? Do you want that length? I like them short. I feel like girls want short skirts. Done. You take the glue tape,
Are you
though.
kidding me with that?
I don't.
I know, I think it's so good. I mean,
How come we didn't know
my
about this?
scissors don't even
No,
work, and then it's
no.
all crooked. And
Scissors are for no. If you're
No.
not a complete professional with scissors, don't use them.
So you
I'm
also recommending that plastic thingy.
This ruler is a quilting
Yeah, you
ruler, so
gotta
you can
go.
see through it, and it's got
Yeah.
the measurements on it.
Sure,
So
okay,
this is your
Okay,
best friend
okay.
with the
All right,
rotary,
okay.
so
Yeah.
it slides.
Okay,
Now
I
this
know where
this
you're going
tape,
with that.
you don't have to sew, right? With leather, you get this glue tape.
Yeah.
So this, you just line it on the edge,
Yes.
like that. Right? You do the
no
whole skirt.
sewing.
No sewing.
Okay, this is transformational for me.
Girl,
Is that-
anything I don't have to sew, I'm so happy.
That's so
Really?
great.
And you're on that show?
There's only so much sewing you can do, you know?
Yeah. Now, see, back in the
And then it
day, when you
stays,
wanted your
right?
skirt shorter in high school, you'd roll up your waistband.
Right? And then you get a mini skirt,
Okay,
right?
let's see that. Okay.
So here's the look.
This is a great look, all right? I like this. I like how you finish this. That's really nice, how it's finished.
So I've hemmed this shirt, and the skirt is just glue taped.
See how it's a little bit longer depending on how short you want. You want Britney Spears, you can do that. You want longer, you can do that. Let's talk about what you do with the leftover.
So now, again, I don't like wasting anything.
Yeah.
So then you've got this leftover suede, and again, get your rotary cutter and your quilting ruler.
Yes.
And you can actually just create your own fringe.
When did you start kind of deciding, this is interesting to me, I want to do?
I taught myself when I think I started making clothes when I was 15. And I was living in Saskatoon, so you couldn't get cool clothes in like 1996 in Saskatoon.
So what was your first project?
My first project was a pair of fat pant overalls. I was probably upwards to
We
like...
could have been friends.
I think we met at a rave once. And, you know,
And you made them out of what? What did you make them out
I
of?
made them out of like a sort of like a denim, like something stiffer that's like easier to manipulate.
Sure.
Because a lot of fabrics, like you breathe on them and they move and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
But it was sort of an easier fabric and...
And so people probably commented on how cool it was, and you went, oh, I got something
Exactly,
there.
and then
Good.
they were like, I want to buy them from you. And I was like, give me $40, I'll make you whatever you want.
That's great. So you just
So
went
make-
up to a certain point, Bedell, right? You didn't
Yeah,
go
I'm
over
just
that,
showing
right?
how easy it is
Yeah.
to make your own fringe.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. And again, you take the glue tape, and I think that these like anklet sandals were really hot last year.
Would
so
gaff tape work?
gaff tape
If you,
would work for me.
if you like folded it over, because I always have tape with me.
Yeah.
Because I have blown the arse out of many pairs of pants over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
And I will tape it together. You gotta be careful with the little hairs, you know. Well, I just. Oh
It's
my God.
reality. Although,
This is a little cleaner. This is like a glue tape, so it's almost invisible.
yeah.
And I like that, like, this is a suede
Sure.
shoe. So the suede is porous, so it's
Old
going to
school
grab
shoe.
the glue.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have 18 pairs of those?
I know, this
right?
is like, was so hot last year that everyone's got these. I'm sure you do, the anklet shoe.
Do you know the first time I ever heard about taping with like masking tape was Anne Murray at the Jubilee Auditorium. She came out in these red palazzo pants with a black vest. I love you, Anne. I hope you're watching. And she said, oh, I just blew out my shoe and I put my foot through the hem. And then she showed everybody the masking tape. I went, brilliant. So that tape is always good, right?
It's good, and it's actually glue tape. So this is like, you just stick it along the edge
Okay.
of the shoe.
We can do this.
We can do this.
Bedell. You are a winner in my eyes. Isn't that great? Ladies and gentlemen, Bedell. We're ready for you. Good for you.
Up next, adorable and adoptable. Take a look at the pets who are looking to find their forever homes. That's up next.
Jann Arden is my co-host. And joining us from the Ontario SPCA is Kelly Milliman. Hello, Kelly. And we're going to talk about adopting pets. Now, first, Jen, you have two dogs. You've got Mitty and Belle.
Yeah. Mitty's a 5-pound Morkie, Yorkshire Terrier and a Maltese, and Belle is just a farm dog.
Oh, Mitty. And Belle.
And Belle is, she's 13 years old, and she's just, she's from a reservation.
Yes.
So she's a rescue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've talked about that before because I know you do work with Indigenous communities. So
Yes.
that's awesome. So
Yes.
we love that.
Yes.
So very good. Well done. So you brought in 3 pets for us today. They're up for adoption.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
take it away.
Okay, so who do we have up first coming in?
Bow
I think
Wow.
we've got Bow Bow. Yes.
Bow Bow. Bow Bow.
So Bow Bow is super cute.
I can't take it.
So she is a 5-year-old.
I wish I could get on my knees, but I can't.
So she is a 5-year-old Havanese Maltese mix, super energetic. So
Yeah.
she would be great for somebody who wants a smaller dog but is still prepared to go for nice long walks.
What a good guy! Look at you! Get over there and pet her. Go ahead. Just go for it. Go for it. Oh. There's Bow Bow, everybody. Thank you so much for adorable.
I know.
Up for it. Go first. Now we've got a guinea pig coming in.
Yeah, we do. So this little guinea pig, now people don't often know that the Ontario SPCA has things other than cats and dogs. We certainly do. So here comes Boomer.
Come on in, Boomer.
Boomer is a 7-month-old guinea pig. He's all snuggled up in his little blanket there. It helps keep him comforted. And he would make a really great first-time pet for maybe a family that has never had a pet. Maybe they have young kids and they just want to start off with something
take care
small.
of a pet. Yes, right.
Yeah.
And
so he's a great addition to a family.
Yeah, so he's so cute. I just want to go, mwah. And so once again, for a family that's just what?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got young kids and they're going, please, Mom, Dad, I want a pet, maybe start with a guinea pig like Boomer here.
Hi, Boomer.
You know, easy to take care of. They live in a cage for the most part.
Right.
Need a little bit of handling like what we're doing here today, but easy peasy.
Hi, Boomer. You're done for the day right now. Go ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. And then this name is great. Please welcome Hendrix.
Hendrix.
Please welcome.
What kind of a dog is Hendrix?
So Hendrix is a little Cocker Spaniel mix. So you can see he's a little bit bigger than Bao Bao. He's also older than Bao Bao, right? So he's about 8 years old. So if you're a family who maybe, you know, isn't gonna take a dog for super long walks, you kind of want somebody that's gonna hang out with you a little more on the couch, my style, I'd be going for a guy like Hendrix.
Well, I love that. How many of you have pets? Yeah, put your hands up. Okay. So, and thanks to Pet Value, you're all going to go home with a gift card. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Don't be mad, okay? We're getting paid well, just not in the traditional sense. Guys, put this in the black SUV with the cheese.
Cheese?
I've done my research. We'll get cash once we sell the cheese.
I hope you're kidding.
You ever go to the grocery store and buy Parmesan? It's like 14 bucks for a tiny little wedge. Each wheel is 120 pounds. We've got 3 of them, 3 wheels. In cash, that's double your last private gig.
I know, but that's cash. I cannot buy shoes with cheese.
You just have to be patient. Hang on to the cheese for a couple of days till we find a buyer.
Okay, this is embarrassing. Do you know how it makes me feel to be performing for dairy products?
It's like edible Bitcoin.
That is Jann Arden, the actress. She's also my coach today, starring in your very own television series called Jann. Congratulations. All right, let's go back. Really, when I first met you, how many years ago?
Got to be over 30.
Yep.
Met you in a bathroom at the
Palliser
Hotel downtown Calgary, and I introduced myself. Hi. I've heard you on the radio.
But you know, here's the thing about you. You've done other shows in acting, like Working Moms.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I've played myself.
Yeah.
I did a little thing on Corner Gas.
Yes.
And just little fun things.
Yeah.
But this was, the Jann thing was very 11th hour. It was executives at CTV, and they made a really good call. I think I was like Julie Smitherington, and the show was called like Will You Remember Me? That's how the pitch kind of went out.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, you know, we love it. We love the idea. It was a singer-songwriter, mother with dementia, family setting. And they're just like, you know, when you talk about branding and you talk about marketing, they're like, I think we want you to be Jann Arden, like a weird version of Jann Arden.
So it's inspired by your life.
Yeah, well, it is. It's certainly there, but I mean, I don't have a sister in real life. My mother did have Alzheimer's and dementia. Deborah Grover, who plays my mother in the show, looks very much like my mom. But yeah, it's trying to find relevance in a personal life, in a professional life. You know, you get to a certain age and you're like, is anything that I've done worthwhile? And that's where we drop into this story.
Yes.
My sister's pregnant with her 4th kid. She's already got an 18-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and the vasectomy didn't work. And
we go from there.
She's facing that, and I don't give a crap. I am narcissistic. I'm just concerned about myself. So it was, and I'm actually very much like that in real life.
No, my God. Couldn't be further from the truth.
So it was a blessing. CTV has been nothing but supportive of me, you know, over all these years, and it's forging relationships. This is the culmination of 25 years of relationships that I've made through the industry.
Now, I applaud that. Keep at it. Do you love doing it?
I really love doing it. It's very daunting. I'm not an actor. Meryl Streep's job is very safe. And memorizing stuff was really
hard.
The worst part, but I worked with a guy named Tom Carey who would do lines with me as I'm basically peeing. I could hear him going, he's reading the lines out to me, and I just, you know, he just repeated them.
Now, my friend, I know you work, this year has been something else for you, but I do follow you on Instagram. I noticed on Instagram that you were complaining a little bit about...
What's the
It was an Insta
situation?
story. Because when you go to a hotel room and the curtains don't close...
I hate it.
I solved your problem. This is your birthday gift because your birthday's coming up. And we... Huh?
Thank you.
And I'm out. Happy birthday, Jann. Jann's birthday is on March 27th. Now open up because there's a surprise. Happy birthday, sweetie.